Hello guys. It is Bunny or Mars, whatever you know me as. It's been a while. We're gonna do a well overdue video because it's been a while. So I thought this would be a good time to finally do the video that I've been I guess waiting to do. I don't know. Um, and we're gonna be talking about my mental health. Like everything that I've gone through, been through, my current mental health, because I feel like that's important in the channel. I am in my bed because I'm most comfortable doing this video in my bed, because it's comforting, I guess. And I also have my frog here. He is a Build-A-Bear frog that my parents got me for my 13th birthday. So he is here along for the ride. And for actual proof, I have my actual middle school journals. Yes, this is from the anime. And yeah. So, let's start this out. I started YouTube when I was, I'd say, around 9 with a channel with my mom, and it was mostly just like family stuff. After I turned 10, I branched off and got my own YouTube channel, still somewhat monitored by my mom, but I could post videos on my own. Um, as I got a little bit older, I'm saying like early 11, later 11 years old, I started like getting bad mentally, but I didn't know it then. Like, I didn't know what was going on with me. Like, I don't know. I just, it really wasn't like a conversation I'd had yet. Uh, but when I was, I'd say about early 12, no, late 12, early 13, I figured out what SH was, you know, had my little fun, started dabbling in that with, uh, first I started out with like whatever sharp objects I could find, and I'm not going to give y'all tips for you ones out there, and I'm not going to show pictures either because I don't want to trigger anyone. Um, so started with that. During that time, my mental health was really bad, and I still uploaded and stuff like that. Like, I was still doing YouTube. I was going actually like really strong, but my mental health was horrible. Um, During that time, my parents, specifically my dad, had threatened me with sending me to the mental hospital. Um, they never went through with that threat, luckily, but my mental health did not exactly do very much better. I guess I just like got better at hiding it at some point, and of course, like I graduated on to like worse objects to harm myself with. So then the scars were actually like causing serious damage. Not enough that I have to go to the hospital, but enough that I would have to like put pressure and gauze on my wrists and go to school like that in long sleeves. So during that time, I journaled a lot. Those journals, I believe, are either burnt, thrown away, damaged. I don't have them anymore. But it didn't really help that at that time I had really bad friends that basically made me feel like crap. Um, they didn't help me out at all. My mental health was like just something for them to whisper about me behind my back. And after I'd got away from those friends, I'd reached my 8th grade year. I'm kind of like skipping around for this, so like just hear me out. 8th grade year, I had gotten away from those really toxic friends, and that was one of my hardest years, I'd say. 6th grade was horrible as it was, just like being a fresh middle schooler and then having people nitpick on me because of my style. I was like really low down in the dumps. It's hard to admit that at one point I was like on Discord and I did get taken advantage of a little bit. Um, my parents knew about my mental health struggles to a certain extent. They didn't know how bad it was. They just thought I was like becoming a moody teenager, but I wasn't. It was just like life hitting me real hard. So, right, 8th grade year, I got away from those friends and I had gotten the worst social blacklisting of my entire life. Nobody wanted to be near me. I was getting like severely bullied and it sucked. It really did. I'd say like towards the beginning of the year, that's when I had this TikTok account and those bad friends knew about it and it got spread. And of course, I'm a young teenager, so it's gonna be embarrassing. And people would post that on like their shit page. That's basically what it was called, like my middle school's shit page. And like before I could do anything about that, it got spread, and I got bullied so badly. It like to the point where people were like coming to my bus stop just to harass me and record me and stuff like that. And I just kept going to school. Like I had days where I like call my mom and dad and I was just like, I can't do this, please, like come pick me up. It was really that bad. Like I was getting harassed literally. It was it was like a little bit short of actual harassment. Like I feel like I literally could have filed like a police report on these people because I could have. And during that, some pictures of me started floating around, and it was like 6th grade, and it was my Halloween costume. Now, of course, I'm a 6th grader, so I dressed up like a little black cat, and I looked like every other girl except my outfit was conservative. I had like a longer skirt and like long sleeves because, of course, I was going through self harm. So, yeah, of course, I had to wear long sleeves. And those pictures started floating around, and I got harassed and called a furry. Like, there's nothing wrong with them. I support their work, at least the normal ones out there. But it was like to the point where they were like harassing me and stuff like that. Like, I couldn't do anything without being harassed. And it was like a lot for me at that time. And I was struggling like so heavily with my mental health. So, yeah. And it also didn't help that at that time I was in like relationships. Like, please, please, please. I know, it's bad. But I had gotten into a relationship with this girl, and at the time, I was like so. I loved her. Like, I thought like she was the one and stuff like that. But later on, I'd say like a few months in, she breaks up with me to get with a guy, and then like openly admits like, hey, like I was just using you to figure out if I was gay or not. And me being the person I was and being so like in love with this girl, I like let her keep staying around me, and then we got back together, and she used that time to like gather information about me to then like make a whole Discord server about me once we broke up and talk shit about me. And she had pictures and she had like screenshots of text messages, and it would be like our private conversations. And she used that against me for so long. And I just like I didn't know what to do. I was at my worst. I really was. Um I think it would be a good time to read some of the pages. I'm just gonna go through this because the first page in here is about her. Because that's when I started this notebook, and it was like a journal. Yeah. Like, mind you, I was on meds. I still am. 5 milligrams of Lexapro. That's all it's ever been. And at first, like, the side effects were not that bad. Like, maybe the occasional, like, getting knocked, like, I would be knocked out after I took them. And I was dealing with that plus my own mental health. And then having this, like, all go on. I actually have, like, a video of me, and that day, that morning, I had, like, it was such a bad morning. I woke up and just, I was a deep depression. And I, like, self-harmed before I went to school, and I just put gloves on. Like, I wrapped my wrists and I put gloves on and I went to school. And that same exact day, that girl had broken up with me for the second time through a letter. Because she never, ever would tell me anything to my face. She would always write me a letter for it. And I thought that was cute at first until that's how she would, like, break up with me. And that's how she broke up with me, is through a letter. And she did it twice. So, yeah, that was fun. Let's see. I have one. This one isn't about her. This is just about, like, I don't know. I thought I was, like, some type of magical poet, but it says, art in my sketchbook, a book in my hand, a bag on my shoulder. This is my usual day. My day is often full of annoying boys and bitchy girls. You can never have an opinion. Even the substitute teachers that side with the popular kids have something to say. Irritation is an everyday burden. Whether it's the annoying boys in class or the popular kids and their unrelenting gaze, school is a bother. I often look forward to going home and enjoying my guitar and watching random videos till my brain turns to mush and I grow tired. I was in 8th grade writing this, by the way. Like, some might say, like, oh, you're an early teenager, but mentally, I feel like I was still a kid. Like, I hadn't yet strayed away from my more childish things, and I was just hitting teenhood. Like, this is like 13, 14 years old. I'm 15 now, but that doesn't, like, make it any different. I've only matured so much in that time. So imagine me at my worst having to feel like that, like, feel alone and all that. What else do I have? Ugh. This was the first time we had broken up and she had been dating this guy. Let me read this. Once again, my eyes are on you. The definition of she looks just like a dream, the prettiest girl I've ever seen. You dyed your hair a reddish maroon, and it's now mixing with your once completely jet black hair. You're beautiful, and I can't help but stare. I'm painfully reminded of the fact you have a boyfriend. It hurts more than I'd like to admit. Just admitting that I'm still stuck on you is humiliating. At least it is to me. This is just bullshit middle school relationships, right? I don't know what love is all I tell myself when it comes to you. Each and every time I get that burn in my throat, those unsaid words turning to acid, I try to convince myself I'm just crazy, but it no longer feels like it. I honestly could write about you till my hands hurt and my eyes fill with tears, but there is no point. I'd only be making myself feel sick. I wish I could just forget these feelings and bury them deep down, because once again, they are such useless and stupid feelings. Feelings that I want to absolutely destroy. Maybe I'll be destroying a part of me myself along with it. But doesn't it seem worth it to escape such feelings? Yeah, I had it bad for this girl, and she treated me like I was just like her little test dummy. So, I love that. Mind you, this is just like the beginning. This is what I like showed y'all so far, like what I've read from. This is all of my year. This entire journal lasted until October 7th, 2025. My birthday this year is how long this lasted. It's crazy. Okay, I think this was our breakup, and this is the one where she wrote a letter and put it on my chair and then could not look me in the eyes after that. She did not look me in the eyes at all after this. So, I wrote, "So I was right. Things are always too good to be true. Once again, I'm alone. Not a friend to call my own, but maybe the silence is better. Feels like I'm back in 6th grade, working every day that I can work at the school store and keeping my head in a book with my headphones in, begging for the year to be over. It's only January, and I feel socially drained. Girls are so fucking complicated, but boys are just too immature for me to hang out with. At this point, I've once again grown tired of school. Once again, school feels like a burden, not a gift." And mind you, I had been going through so much fun before this. Like, being in a relationship with her made me feel like actually cared about, and she had all these friends that then would be surrounding me, and it would make me feel so like good, and I felt supported, and I had like all these people around me, and it felt like maybe this one would have been the one. But yeah, that was fun. So, what else do I have in here? Oh, me hitting the poetry. Let me read this one. "As the weather changes, so does my outlook on life. My feelings switching like the seasons. My anger is like a snowstorm. It's best for everyone to stay away, but as the sun shines, my smile becomes more radiant and frequent. Is it fair to say that life is better away from the assholes at school? Is it fair to say that those girls are selfish bitches and that worry only about their own massive egos, leaving me alone to be the depressed emo girl of the school instead of the happy jokester I am? As the seasons change, I realize that people suck every season, every month, and every year." That was January 31st, 2025. Yeah. This journal has been through with me, like, been with me for so long. Oh, I have more about her. Don't worry, guys, I am in a happy relationship right now, so this is past. But in a video about my mental health, I feel like all the things that led up to the big explosion is necessary. I wrote, she talked to me. I yelled at her, frustrated by her previous behavior of absolutely ignoring my presence for a week and a half just because I stated facts about her shitty ex-boyfriend. She said, sorry, but I don't think it was enough. I don't want to be harsh, but her overreaction left me feeling like I was back in 6th and 7th grade, two of the hardest years for me and my most lonely years. If she tries to text me, I'll have to put my foot down, tell her I deserve more than some stupid apology. I'm worth more than that. Choosing a boy over your friend is ridiculous, and it genuinely pisses me off a whole lot. I'll definitely read this on my YouTube channel B-Day. I never did, but... So... Oh god, this is when I hit the really, really tiring time. These two, I have two, and they're from page to page, so I'm gonna read this. I don't think my mind is being my friend right now. Life is starting to feel like one of those graphic novels I read at the end of the year to fill the void. I'm starting to feel solace in my writing and music again, as well as recording videos and editing them till my head starts filling with irritation, but not the same irritation I get from this life. The type of irritation I get when I get too excited and forget how little free time I actually have for my creative hobbies. I wish I could just turn off the drama like turning off a TV show. Maybe I can. My solution and silence, of course. No point in speaking that much of my words are always too honest for everyone else. These arguments have grown useless and quite tiring. I had horrible grammar, so excuse me. And then this one. Every day is starting to melt together. Time passing faster than I'd like it to. Feels like I'm counting down to my doom some days. Some days are less of a burden, but others make me just want to melt away into the days. My days have gotten increasingly tiring. I don't have much to look forward to except maybe my graduation out of this shitty little middle school. The middle school that has given me both bad memories and good ones. Some memories are kind of bittersweet due to how much I yearn for those moments, and I know they aren't healthy and aren't gonna happen again. Regret will always bring nothing, so I must move forward, not looking back, but looking forward. Yeah. Oh my god. I'm never gonna read this. This is the second time we got back together. I don't know. Can't read that one. So, I don't know. I don't know. I have so much in here. This is the breakup I was talking about. Let me read this. So congratulations to me, I got a passing grade on that test, but I returned from my trip to the library to a breakup letter. I immediately knew what it was, but tried to stay positive, but starting to read it when I got into Mr. Macman's class. He was one of my favorite teachers. Peek him. And of course I was right as usual. Obviously, I'm upset, but I'm in class and in school, so crying would be extremely embarrassing. So all I can really do is write and talk it out with my mom so I don't absolutely spiral. It hurts a bit more this time. I think all I can really do is feel what I need to feel despite how unstable I already am. Okay. Mind you, this breakup haunted me until the end of my 8th grade year. Whoa. Yeah. I still, mind you, after she hurt me, I still had those feelings. I had like a horrible habit of clinging on to those who hurt me so bad. Hmm. Okay. This one was me coming to the realization that she really just didn't care. It took me a while to finally get that through my thick skull, but I wrote, "She was using me, wasn't she? She just used me to test out her sexuality. Funny how people love to use me for their advantage. I'm just a toy for their testing, a doll for them to play with. I'm genuinely losing hope in people. Except blank, of course, which is a friend. My best friend and partner in crime. She makes school a lot more fun, a lot less like prison. Friends make everything better, and I'm convinced that most friendships are ones that I ruin or people that just aren't meant to be befriended. Yet I find myself missing these friendships, missing being surrounded by people that that I can call my friend. I miss when stuff was more simple." Whoa. Okay, let me read this one. I can't read that one actually. No. Okay. This one was me like starting to recover a bit. Of course, I was still struggling with mental health. Um, but yeah, I was actually clean at this point. I currently am still clean. I'm at like I think a month and a year and 6 months, 5 months, something like that. But it's been a while, and I'm very proud of myself. Like, yeah, yeah. Okay, let me lock in. My mind is a bit more quiet today. Just a buzz of what I dare to write, and thoughts on the music I hear in my ears. A common way to keep myself on task and make school more manageable for myself. Insanity isn't exactly girly pop, you know. Can't go losing my train of thought, now can I? The real answer is yes, but that's not the point. That was a hypothetical question, and it was rhetorical too. I'm pretty sure this is just an effort to use up my last few minutes of second block so I don't go absolutely bonkers while reading my book about murder. I had a weird obsession with books, so I read a lot in my middle school years. Mm. Mm. So the next few excerpts were, I'm not going to read those because I was in an even worse relationship with a guy this time. And he was just immature. And I'm not even saying that just to be, like, it's not even harsh. I still cared about him after the breakup. But he broke up with me just because he didn't want a relationship. He wasn't ready for one, he said. Or he was too busy for one. So, okay. Oh my god. This is what I have to read. I'm back and ready to update this journal. Maybe. I don't know. Never mind. I don't really want to jinx it. Everything is pretty good though. And now that I'm 3 months away from graduation, I'm going to make the most of it. Mind you, this is where I was still dating that guy, so keep that in consideration. I said, so this is like an update on the same page. So the voiding is still there, but honestly, it could have been so much worse. At least he doesn't act like I don't exist. The hugs are nice though. They're getting longer and a bit tighter between me and you. It makes me want more. This is a mayor thing to admit, of course. And that's what I wrote. And then I wrote, P.S. This is gonna work out. I know it. Oh, how naive I was. And that was March 25th, 2025. And between that, we had like 2 arguments, and they were valid reasons. I'm not going to get too much into them. Okay, let me read this because this is one of the first times and only times I got in-school suspension for anything. So let me read this out. And also, don't do what I do, but I was at my limits. 3 years of torment. I was at my limits. Okay, guess who girl paused so hard that they got a day of ISS? Me and my friend Adri. That crusty bitch in the halls was testing me, so I flicked my lighter so that he wouldn't come near me. And I had Adri hide it from me. Now we're in ISS for the rest of the day. This is total BS. Plus, bad friend and bad friend number 2. They're ex-friends, though, at this point. Crusty asses are trying to fight me, and I reported them, but now another bitch's name is running his dumbass mouth and is pissing me off. I need to crash out. Middle school has got to be a fever dream or something. Yeah. So I was celebrating at 2 weeks with this guy. 2 weeks. Mind you. Current relationship, 5 months. Me got healthy. Me got better. Me actually taking care of myself. Okay. Okay. This is something that I have to read out. I put this in my book, so I don't know if y'all read it already. So this is in response to a note my friend had left me in my own journal. I'm not going to read hers, but I'm going to read mine. And I named it A Moment of Appreciation. I spent my 3 years in middle school not quite fitting in. I've been fat and skinny, mean and nice. I tried this style and that style, but still I didn't fit in. For a long time, I blamed myself for my inability to make friends, or at least good ones. This year, I figured out that no matter what I do, I'll always just be me. I have a best friend now. Her name is Adriana. She is the one I gravitate towards the most. She has the brightest smile that makes it impossible not to smile back. She has the type of energy that makes school just a bit more manageable. At least that's how I feel. I've known her for a year now, but this year, without knowing it, she saved my life. January 26, 2025, I I was gonna off myself after school by overdosing on my antidepressants. But I had sat at her table, and something about her gave me peace of mind. Despite still having a set out, I feel less and less like it's necessary. In these moments, I thank her for sticking around, because she will most likely never know the way she saved me. P.S. She's my best friend, and I never want her to think otherwise. And that was written April 7th, 2025. Okay, so this one is April 8th, 2025, and I'm gonna read this because this is my ex-girlfriend at this point that I'm writing about, the one that I had written about previously. So it says, drama, drama, drama. I really don't care anymore. I'm perfectly happy with my situation currently, but yet the girl who plagued my mind is still trying to wiggle her way back into my life. Honestly, I'm just tired of her and everything she stands for. I just want her to stay away from me and let me live my life. Not to mention, friend's name, is the cause of all this. Lying her ass off so my ex-girlfriend will want to date her. I don't give a flying fuck, but leave me out of this. I got my shit straight already, so maybe it's their turns. Crash out, girl. Mind you, I was being so peaceful. I was the peacemaker for so long. So, yeah. Ooh. So, another thing that I was picked on for in middle school was being really smart. I studied real freaking hard and I understood everything that was like tossed out to me. Because failing was not something in my vocabulary. We were not doing that. So I locked in hard and I got it done. One of my worst experiences was my 8th grade science class. I was so interested in biology and learning about human bodies and like homogeneous and all that. I knew that, and it was like I knew it. So let me read this one. April 11th, 2025. Once again, in the class that makes me feel like my intelligence is a curse rather than a gift. Though I have A's, I can't tell if it's really worth it. People are always asking for answers to assignments and insulting me for answering questions correct. I'm sorry that I know science facts or fancy words. Science is one of those things that excite me, depending on the type. So I can't help it if I raise my hand and answer a simple question on how we're fucking up the earth with carbon emissions from our cars. Fuck middle school. Yeah. What else? Yeah. Ooh. Let me read this one. And yes, it's inspired by a song. I can't remember the name of the song right now. Anyway, this is for snakes and the people they bite. It's no big surprise you turned out this way. No ambitions and no self-respect for themselves or others. I'm sure they could find something better to do, find other people to torment. But you know, teenage girls, they don't know when to just give up and call it quits. Honestly, I no longer care for petty girls. Normal people is what they call themselves, but monsters is what I call them. They're pretty girls with ugly personalities, which makes them ugly. Do you want to crash out with me? I was having a horrible year. And I find all this is really rational, at least to me, because I was going through like ultimate hell. For real. Let me respond to that text later. Anyways. So, what else did I get? What else do I have in here? So, this point, my ex-boyfriend, he's my ex-boyfriend now, but he was my ex-boyfriend then. He was still my boyfriend at the time. He had read my journal. Like, I left it and he read it. So, and I'm gonna read it. So the day before that, I read my journal to my boyfriend, and I fear I've said too much. What if he thinks of me differently now that he knows the extent of my mental illness? I get more nervous each time his friends give me a look. What if I truly am just a bet or a joke to him? Fear constantly fills my chest like concrete, fills an empty hole weighing heavily and bound to leave a mark. That's the thing about falling in love. It hurts more when they betray you, because loving someone is giving them all of you and then hoping that they don't absolutely destroy you. So, yeah, and that was April 23rd, 2025. 2 months for graduation at this point, I think. Oh my god. 4th block. That was the period I had with my boyfriend at the time. So, I'm gonna read this. As 4th block gets closer, I can feel the fear filling my chest. I really shouldn't have vented to him or gave him that stupid hoodie. I made him a kiss hoodie, for reference. He's probably waiting for the perfect moment to break up with me and tell everyone that I'm a mentally ill freak or something. Maybe I'm just overthinking it again as usual, but my anxiety has become all-consuming. Not to mention that the day after I vented to him, he didn't call or text me once. He didn't even text me, so that's crazy. Once again, I could just be overthinking everything, and he might actually love me like he says he does. He did not, and he did in fact told all his friends that I was a mentally ill freak that was obsessed with him. Yeah. He knows who he is. Crazy shit. But we have to air this out. I'm a high schooler now. Freshman in high school. So we have to air all this out because my mental health is something that needs to be talked about. I'm doing so much better now than I was then, and I feel like that's a big thing for me because I was struggling so hard and now I'm feeling so much better. I'm not saying I don't still have like minor depressive episodes or have moments where I am thinking of picking up the blade again, but I found other ways to manage that, and I've done it with like journaling, and I have apps. Of course, I'll put all my links down below. Also, if you need help, use my links below. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Okay. Let me see. Nope. Oh, my iconic bag that I made. I'm gonna read this. This has nothing to do with my mental health or what we're talking about. But let me read this because it's my iconic bag. I think most of y'all have seen it in my videos, but I don't know. I'll put a picture here. Okay, that's my bag. So I have this bag I painted, another creation that I adore. One side is Gravity Falls and the other side is Coraline. God, I absolutely love it. But I kind of wish I had some cool pins that could fit my hyperfixation so that I can completely decorate my bag to satisfy my extreme need for decoration on my bag. I want either Coraline, Gravity Falls, or just cute pins and keychains. Maybe some more Sanrio accessories too, because they are definitely appreciated. Yeah. Ugh. Okay, that one's gross. not read that one. Um, yeah. So, at this time, May 19th, 2025, we're still together. Let me read this off. Open silence fills the void. I can only hope he's telling the truth, but I refuse to be desperate again. I will not beg to be loved. I know love is a strong word, but I think he truly loves me. I worry for if he has a wandering eye, because as admission month gets closer, I was getting into an academy. I didn't end up going, but still. As admission gets closer, I realize that long distance will be our reality. The internal struggle is real. Will it work out, or will I be left heartbroken in New York? Can't let my anxiety take over. I will get into Bard Academy, and I will still be happily dating his name. It's going to be a healthy, long-distance relationship. I was writing that to convince myself because he had been completely horrible. Okay. Oh. Let me read this one because it was 15 days before I was ending school and I was so happy. So I wrote, it's been a while since I've written and a lot is going on. I'm publishing my book in a couple of weeks, which is pretty fun, but due to financial struggles, I might not be able to attend Bard Academy. And I also got my phone taken again. It's wherever though, since I have a spare, so I'm set for pictures and everything. Oh yeah, and there's 15 days left of school. No big deal. I was writing that so like I wouldn't lose my mind. 15 days and I was still going through hell. Okay. So me and V broke up, my ex-boyfriend. I won't say it didn't hurt because that'd be a lie, but I feel almost numb to it. I can't tell mom and dad because they told me not to come crying to them when it didn't work out. He broke up with me over text, says something along the lines of he needed to focus on school and football. Guess that was just a distraction. I'll get through it anyway because that's what I do, which is true. And that was May 30th. 30. And I didn't have my phone, so he did text me, but he texted my friend first, which sucked. Ugh. The desperation. Let me read this. And it was so hard. And at this time, his friends were like absolutely picking on me because of it. And they were also like, oh, look at the emo girl. That's V's John. And, oh, I bet she's going to cut her wrist. Or if we keep talking, she's going to cry. How cruel can these people be? For real. Like, anyway, I digress. Let's keep going. Even after an extremely eventful weekend, I can't stop thinking about him. Would it be pathetic to admit I miss him? That I literally had dreams about him simply being in my arms again? Once again, I have strong feelings plaguing my mere existence. His smile, though not for me, is still as addictive as the first time I saw it. We have ended things, yet I'm still stuck. Too much history to be friends, but too busy with life to be more. Not to mention that in the breakup text, he texted me, not my friend. I didn't know it at that point. He said he loved me. I tried to just tell him that I supported him, though all I wanted to do is beg him to stay, like the pathetic girl I am. There's more. It feels almost tormenting to think of him, when I'm sure he's already moved on. He's the one who sent the text, so it's almost guaranteed that he no longer looks at me the same. Hell, I don't even think he looks at me at all anymore. Why would he? He's a boy, and I'm just a stupid girl who got too attached, too used to actually being loved like that by someone. It's on me for getting my hopes up, for wishing that for once someone just might stick around. I don't think I can take watching another happy couple because at this point it truly just makes me want to cry. Funny thing is that even if I let myself cry, it wouldn't work since due to my meds it's extremely hard to cry. So I'm forced to keep these feelings inside. These tears continue to prick at my waterline despite the storm raging in my head. Despite the storm raging in my head, I've managed to stay smiling these last few days. It's painful. My chest always hurts from the sobs and tears I've just managed to hold back. Was the 2 months really worth it? To me, it was, but maybe to him, it was nothing. I'll never truly know. He makes me feel like an absolute fool, like I'm pathetic for not immediately moving on. Oh, let me spell this. That man really has a way of making me feel like shit. First breaking up with me because he was busy, but now dating one of my friends. It's hard not to cry or feel hurt because it hurts more than anything. Guess men and women really just aren't my cup of tea. Now, or maybe ever. I was being dramatic, of course, but I was literally actually heartbroken. I was in pain. So, yeah. What else? This is June 29th. I'd graduated at this point. So, let me read. Been a while, huh? I haven't forgotten. I kind of forgot that my life didn't actually end the second I walked out of that classroom. If it felt like it, but that's just not true. Since the end of school, I went to the Baltimore Aquarium twice. Atlantic City twice, and had a lot of fun so far. Today I'm going to the Puerto Rican Day Parade for the first time in like 3 years. I just want to remind myself that life didn't end just because middle school is over, nor did it end when one of your best friends honestly forget him and move on. Yeah. Take that into consideration. Okay. Let me read this. This was the end of my summer, like close to the end of summer. So it was August 12th, 2025. As summer comes to a close, I feel my time alone filled with tears, silent pleading questions on why men don't stick around. Maybe it's because they're just boys, or maybe something in me is just not meant for love. Yeah. It hurts more that I let myself actually get attached. I don't know why I blame myself for people drifting away, but I do. I just felt that I should write these feelings out instead of continuing to bottle them up again and again. Yeah. And this one, August 21st, 2025. Sitting through a time capsule and feeling tears fill my eyes will forever be my undoing. My old notebook showed me old passion for the people I gave my full heart to. I ache for the passion I once had in my heart, but I fear that passion has faded and won't return. That forever the love I once let myself feel for people has faded, and I no longer can fall cranium over converse. As my earlier self stated, oh my god, as my earlier self stated, maybe this is my curse, the inability to love only halfway. I love with my full heart, and that has been my downfall every damn time. I am a good writer. I have to give myself credit. I did at once say, like, cranium over converse, falling head over heels. Cranium over converse. Love it. me read this. First day of high school, and it's going pretty good. Saw a few people I don't like / don't like me, but it isn't that bad. I emailed my counselor about dropping ROTC, but it just doesn't want it, because I just don't want it. Wish me luck. Those wondering how my day went, school went good. Injured my foot only a few minutes after making it home. Now I'm at the hospital getting checked. Mind you, if y'all followed along, I ruined my foot. Like, I have injury. I still have that injury, by the way. Didn't go anywhere. Mind you, I got that in September 3rd. It is the last day of February. I love that. Ooh, this is the night I met my current girlfriend. Ooh, let me read this. High school has been pretty good. At one point, I was talking to a sophomore named, not going to say his name, but it didn't really work out, and Hoko was coming up. I'm still in a boot, but I got this Cinderella-esque dress that goes down to the floor, and I'm so excited to wear it. Other than that, there's not much going on, just usual high school junk as per usual. I'm honestly just kind of tired right now and upset about the whole his name thing because I thought he was pretty damn cool and stuff. Anyway, that's it. I'll try to write again soon, if possible. Sorry, wrong time. Ooh, September 29th. So Hoka was just as fun as I thought it'd be. I got so many compliments on my dress and started talking to this pretty sophomore named, not gonna say her name, and she's been mercilessly flirting with me. We've been dorking out about Marvel, Star Wars, crocheting, and even just fashion and other interests. It's really refreshing talking to her. She praises me a lot and actually shows genuine interest in me, unlike the previous people I've given my time to. Wish me luck, Mars. Signed with a little heart. Guys, it's been 5 months. It's been 5 months. Give me credit. Okay. Oh, this is like we're getting to the end where my mental health actually gets like I was doing so good at this point. At this time, as time sifts, oh my god, can I not speak? Oh my god. As time sifts through the hourglass, I feel a subtle calmness that I once lacked before. School isn't a burden. Those words are almost oddly foreign to me because just months ago I was wishing for the first day not to come, but now I feel almost silent excitement as I go to my favorite classes. I find peace in being alone, but also find joy in being surrounded by friends. Despite life once being melancholy, I feel that spark pushing through again. High school being the gift I needed to continue being myself again. I find that things that once bothered me no longer gets me as much as they did. I still love high school. Like, yes, I'm exhausted, but I'm free. I have friends. We're about to reach the hour mark, but I'm still going. So just hear me out, guys. This was a long one, but I'm still going. So another year passes by me. Tomorrow, I'll be 15 years old, and I feel no different, like I'm frozen and just watching the time pass. I'm a high schooler now, so I feel like celebrating my birthday isn't as compelling as it once was. I fear nobody will remember on their own, so I feel almost compelled to test it by not mentioning it and not wearing anything to let people know. I want to see if they remember on their own. I know this test might hurt my feelings, but I want to test the waters, even if just a little, for my own twisted form of curiosity. They did remember. By the way, they did remember. And my girlfriend, who I just started dating her, remembered too. I mentioned it one singular time. She remembered. And she, like, got me a gift and everything, and it was the sweetest thing ever. Okay, last page in this journal. And this is beautiful. Okay, iconic how I got this journal in middle school, and now the day I turned 15, my journal is on its last page. An entire year of history has come to a close. This journal has officially been finished and added to my time capsule, along with the rest of my mementos and trinkets. Happy birthday to me and to new beginnings. That's October 7th, 2025. And that chapter comes to a close. Those were some of the hardest years of my life. Now I find my biggest challenge is just keeping my grade up in algebra and trying to stay awake to finish my homework. I don't feel the same anxiety I felt when I was going to school and in middle school at all. Like, going to school in high school, my only complaint is exhaustion. I'm just tired. There's a lot of work. So, but taking that in and thinking about, like, hey, I used to actually, like, beg my parents to let me stay home, shifting to now just being tired and just, like, complaining about going to school because I'm tired. It's a big shift. So I never myself was the one that reached out for help. I'm glad that people noticed the signs and saw me struggling and helped me out. If it wasn't for my mom speaking up for me at that doctor's appointment, I would have not gotten the help that I needed, and I probably honestly wouldn't have been here today. So a big thank you to her for that. And the honesty in it is that mental health is not a straight line at all. There were times when I felt like I was floating and life was awesome. And then maybe the day later it could change and I was in a spiral of depression again. It was never one straight line for me. And it's not going to be. Mental health is not going to be a straight line. You're not going to immediately recover. And that's something that people don't often acknowledge. And also, just because you stop hurting yourself or you're having more great, like, better days, does not mean you're not mentally ill anymore. It's still there. It doesn't go anywhere. You just learn how to manage it different. And I'm glad that after those 3 years of eternal hell that I was going through, I actually learned how to treat myself better and get better friendships and get better relationships. I'm glad that I myself made it out, and I can only wish luck to those people who hurt me, because honestly, I don't hate them at all. Maybe they had reasons for being cruel, or maybe they were just crying out for help. I don't know. But I don't hate those people. I wish them the best. I know that their opinions of me are probably still as cruel as they were just mere months ago. But I don't care. I don't mean that in a cruel way, but I have grown so much that my mother looks at me and she smiles. She's like, you are doing so well. To this day, I still show my plates to my mom, the empty plates after I finish my food, to proudly show her, hey mom, I had a meal today. That food you cooked me, I ate it all. And my scars, I don't hide them anymore. They're scars. They're little silver lines. I don't care. Hell, I draw stars on them all the time. And I could care less. At one point, people made me feel so insecure about my SH scars that I would wear gloves in the middle of summer. I refused to wear bathing suits for a hot second because I didn't even want to do that in my own backyard. But now I have this different part of me. I've grown and I've changed, And there's something so beautiful about growing up and getting to look back at all this and seeing that the pain I went through, the pain that I endured, made me a stronger person. That I got better. Getting better isn't even a thing, really. It's just improving or finding ways to cope differently. I've found healthy coping mechanisms, and I've found ways to make what I was going through feel just a smidge bit better. And I have no shame in admitting at one point I had it rough and I was going through something that I would wish on nobody ever. And I'm glad that now, at the ripe age of 15, I can sit here in front of you guys and tell you all the things I went through with a smile on my face. I can tell it to you like it was nothing, because now I've healed from what I went through and I've gotten better and I've improved in my own way. So, thank you so much for being here and listening. I hope you guys enjoy this video. It's a long one, and by the time I'm done editing, it's probably going to be a little bit longer. But yeah, that's all I have. If you need help, reach out. I'll put all those things down below, including my app that I use to keep track of how long it's been, like how long I've been clean, because I feel like that helps me out a lot. And another thing is, don't feel guilty for relapsing. I hear a lot about like people feeling guilty about it and saying, all that progress, I lost it, I'm a horrible person. But healing is not a straight line, and I've said that before. You're gonna have bumps, but it's about how you get back up after getting those bumps. I know that when I was first healing, I would shame myself so bad for relapsing or having a bad day and thinking about hurting myself. But as I got better, I stopped that. Every time I had a relapse, I would just think of it as, hey, we gotta start over, but we're gonna come back stronger this time. And that's how I've gone this long. And then you may not like believe it, but writing all that down actually does help you feel better, because by the time you're done writing it out, those urges they're not there. They just, for me at least, they drift away, because then all that anger or sadness or depression you're feeling, it's on the page now. It's the best way to let out what you're feeling. And I'm 100% saying, go out, get a journal, just write when you feel like it. Write when you feel like you need it. Write like your life depends on it, because this thing saved me. My parents saved me. My friends saved me. But you can save yourself by asking for help. Even if it's just telling your doctor, taking the depression test, maybe asking for therapy. And if you can't, there's small habits that could help you improve it, like getting something to play with, something to scratch at, those little pimple popper fidgets. Stuff like that is what helps you improve. My favorite thing is keeping a small plushie on me. Whenever I feel those urges, I squeeze it. And I squeeze it like hell. It's my way of being out in public and still being sober and clean. So that's it. I'm gonna send y'all off with thank you so much, and hopefully my next video is a little more light. I know this was a long one, and I hope you watched through. If you did watch through, put a little heart down below for me. Thank you so much. Have a good day, night, or evening. Drink some water, have a snack, take a little nap if you need. Frog says bye. I say bye. Love y'all.